hit subscribe. Subscribe to my guy, Uncle D. Tell him Big Bass sent you.
Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. An advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father. I have black sons. Hey, man, I do what I do.
And I'm gonna keep showing the world what black
You
men
were tuned
can
in to
do.
one of the best black men advocated podcasts on YouTube. Show some love for the one and only black professional who keep it real.
And be Superman.
You would tune in to Dennis Podcast. Keep it moving, mama's favorite of the lovely ladies. All these YouTube men dressed for the occasion, even though he on the internet. Intellect, beat you up in court and probably fist to fist. Been around the world, high value. Girl, you can't relate it. Been debated, Godfather endorsed, scared. Kevin said it. Independent black businessman, yeah, he hood related. Probably wouldn't know a big bass. That's like talk to me and I talk back. He can litigate it. Walk with me as we talk facts. He opinionated, saying true. He not only talking, checking court dockets. Only YouTuber putting real money in my pockets. LA back to Houston, taking off. Some pockets, big O in the middle. I'm Elijah, why let's get it poppin'. Championships, we want championships. Keep the manuscript, loyalty and brotherhood. Watch out who you're hanging with.
All women want is comfortable oppression. We'll feed them false hope.
Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Dennis Spurling Podcast. One of the realest. One of the realest in the game. Let's get to it. All my lovely ladies, y'all know what it is. Show some love. Yeah, hit that like button. Subscribe right now. On our way to 100,000. Let's get it.
When you're saying that, we're gonna give him too much clout.
You would tune in to the one, if not the best, on these YouTube streets. We call him Dennis Spurling. You sit back and hate watch, clocking everything he do and say, but you yelling Dennis Spurling. Show some love, ain't enough going round for a black man putting it down. We talking Dennis Spurling. Taking over 2025, ain't no lies. Pull up, tell all of your guys we watching Dennis Spurling. You tune in to the one, if not the best, on these YouTube streets. We call him Dennis Spurling. You sit back and hate watch, clocking everything he do and say, but you yelling Dennis Spurling. Show some love, ain't enough going round for a black man putting it down. We talking Dennis Spurling. Taking over 2025, ain't no lies. Pull up, tell all of your guys we watching Dennis Spurling.
You woke up this morning and you disrespected a that you absolutely never met in your life. You a suck ass infant, man.
This is Uncle D, and as I always said this time, I'm out.
Almost to 10,000 followers. I want to say thank you to you guys. You know, something for me, and I'm going to continue to say yes.
Smooth operator. Come on, everybody. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh man, what's up, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. Big up to all my people out there, man. That was another one from Big Bass Life, man. Shout out to my man. I think he gets me. I don't know, sometimes I just am doing stuff and I don't realize how humorous it is when you see me doing it, when I see myself doing this stuff. But either way, man, smooth operator. I could have done a better job than that. Shout out to all my people in the chat room. Shout out to all of my members. I want to give a big up to Mr. 43TX, Gail at Night. Welcome to the Wrench Mob. I see all my members up in here. Charles Holman. Got to give love to all the members, man. Membership, that's where it's at, man. All my members. Mr. 43TX. We got up in here, baby. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself, as you guys see, as always. Let's go ahead and get straight to the point. Somebody typed the boys are back. Somebody typed the boys are back. I'm going to put the music on for this one. We're going to have a good time. It's going to go pretty quick. You know, I'm going to say that. Let me go ahead and put the Cash App in the bottom here. Get my music playing in the background. I'm going to have some special guests tonight. You guys probably know who they are. We're going to be reviewing some fight footage, a little fight footage here. But first thing is, welcome everybody. My name is Dennis Spurling, also known as the Blizzard King, also known as Uncle D. I'm a lawyer, I'm a father, I'm a YouTuber, I'm an author, I'm a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and all around and everything. Oh man, shout out to my man House Martin. Welcome. Thank you for being the first person to contribute to the super chat, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Golly, man. Where do I start? Well, you know, I don't know if you noticed. Did you guys know that Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate took a first-class flight to, not first class, actually took a private jet to Fort Lauderdale, Florida today. Did you guys know that? The minute I saw it, I said, Trump must have given they're going to see Trump. And how did Romania let them go? Because remember, they had a travel restriction. They couldn't leave. So apparently Trump must have said, nah, I'm gonna need you to let my people go. Remember, Andrew Tate has been a big supporter of Donald Trump. And even when it was unpopular, you know what I mean? He was saying some very crass things. Now, look, I think Andrew Tate's a mixed bag. He is a mixed bag. He's a young man. He's going through a lot of stuff. But, you know, one thing I do like about him is that he pushes a masculine agenda. And I can't be mad at that. You know, he said some things that are controversial, but at the end of the day, you know, he stands on it. You know, like, again, some of the stuff I think is kind of borderline, I don't know, I don't want to say kind of bigoted, a little biased. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, his dad's a black man. His dad's a foundational black American man. And I'm happy to see him free, you know, especially if, you know, the charges were just politically driven. You see what I'm saying? And so now, nevertheless, he's over here hanging out with Donald Trump. I got a little video footage if you guys want to check it out. We're going to talk about a lot of masculine things tonight. And there's somebody type Aaron Sloan in the chat room. Y'all go tag him on his page and tell him, because a lot of you guys have been trying to, you know, get me to turn my back on my little brother. You see what I'm saying? You want me to drag him and say stuff, but I'm not going to do it. I actually recognize what he's doing on Zeus Network. And honestly, I think it is, I think he's a ratings magnet, because most of y'all, the only reason you're watching that show is because he's on it. But we'll deal with that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and take a look at this footage. Look at the confused look on this guy's face. He's like, I can't believe this. Check this out, man. Y'all let me know if you can hear this clearly. Hit the number 1 button if you can hear it. Fair use. Fair use. Who you think made that phone call? And see, this is what I love about Trump. I love his loyalty. He is loyal to people who are loyal to him. And with somebody like that, you know where you stand. Now, as far as these human trafficking charges, it's my understanding that the charges were dropped. And then now the Romanian prosecutor has been ordered by the judge to reinstate them. It's almost as if they're just trying to hold this over these young men. And just to try to be able to take their cars and all that sort of, and their wealth. So that's what it looks like to me. But remember, he has these two young men, their mother was a white woman from England, and their father was a black man. I believe he was born in Detroit? What was he born in Detroit or DC? I'm not sure. But either way, I think they just want to strip them of their wealth, take their cars, that sort of stuff. But you guys, let's keep listening. You guys are saying no sound? Oh man, hold on, no sound. All right, you guys are telling me no sound. Let me try that again. No sound. Was you guys saying no sound? Let me try that again, man. I'm sorry about that, fellas. All right, let me try that once again. We'll try it again. Okay. Okay, give me one. All right, all right. We're gonna try it again. Bam. Let me know if you can hear it right now. Shout out to LTD.
Case making
Okay. You know.
global headlines. Two brothers, Andrew and Tristan Tate, charged with
Can you guys hear it? Is the sound up? Or you guys hit the number 1 button if you can hear the sound.
human trafficking overseas. They've now arrived in Florida. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis saying they are not welcome in his state. The brothers, who are vocal Trump supporters, were asked.
Can you guys hear the sound? Okay, good.
The president helped get their travel ban lifted. And what the president said today about their return. Victor Akendo in Florida tonight.
Notorious influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate today touched down in a private plane in Fort Lauderdale, raising questions about how the brothers charged with human trafficking were free to fly to the U.S. from Romania after a ban on their travel was suddenly lifted.
Trump made that phone call. That's how they were able to travel. Go ahead.
The brothers have denied the allegations against them, today casting themselves as victims.
We live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of
Andrew Tate, a self-described misogynist with millions of followers, is accused with his brother of forming a criminal group allegedly luring women to Romania and sexually exploiting them. Andrew was also charged with rape.
I will state right now that I am absolutely sexist and I'm absolutely a misogynist.
Police raided the home of the far-right influencers and arrested them in 2020.
They call them far right. I don't necessarily know if they're far right. I think these guys are pretty typical when it comes. If this was 1990, it'd be pretty typical. All right, but let's keep as far as their opinions on male and female roles and genders.
22. Andrew, a vocal supporter of President Trump, just weeks ago, posting on X, the Tates will be free. Trump is the president. The good old days are back.
All right. So again, I said this earlier. I like the fact that Donald Trump is 100% loyal to people who are loyal to him. I think that you know where you stand with somebody like that, you know, whether you like him or not. I like the fact that he's loyal to people who are loyal to him.
Today, the brothers ignored questions about whether the president paved the way for their travel.
Did Donald Trump help get the travel ban lifted?
The Tates are also facing criminal charges in the UK. And during that visit with the British Prime Minister today, the president said he knew nothing about it.
You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
And Governor Ron DeSantis saying that Tates are not welcome here in Florida. For months, some Trump allies have been calling for an end to the prosecution.
Yeah, so, you know, things are not going the way that the left-leaning media would like. Shout out to Ra, and also big shout out to LTD. I'm going to read all the super chats, all the cash apps. And again, this broadcast is going to go pretty quick, man, because I just really want to get this in, you know, and kind of let you all know. We are, I guess it's fair to say we're on the precipice of a new era, you know. In truth, it's not new. It's really a bold reassertion, if you will, of values that have shaped our nation and its foundation. And as you see, you know, you see these guys are we're witnessing a shift in society, return to what many would call I would call a male-oriented framework. And with Donald Trump now in his second term, we're seeing policies that reflect commitment to traditional values. You got, you got, the Tate brothers coming to hang out with Donald Trump in Fort Lauderdale. And there's an era of electric anticipation of that, for a lot of people, especially considering, they were locked out of the country. They couldn't even leave Romania. And so in just 60 days of this new administration, we've witnessed a seismic shift in our government, decisive moves away from these divisive ideologies and a commitment to restoring male-oriented society that prioritizes merit, discipline, and hard work, and a removal of these DEI initiatives and the reestablishment of standards in our military and a commitment to fairness in sports that aren't just policies. They're reflections of a renewed dedication to excellence. And I welcome these influential voices, whether you like it or not. The left wing has gone so far left. We need men who are willing to say things that are uncomfortable to the current generation. And, people like Donald Trump, people like Andrew Tate, people like Joe Rogan, even whether you like them or not, they do that, And again, these young men, their journey from Romania to here, it symbolizes a return to boldness and the rejection of constraint that's held us back. And together, we'll be able to forge a path that honors values that men hold dear, that society needs, and ensure that our society thrives and the principles of strength and unity, become a mainstay. So, again, whether you like it or not, we're looking, together, right? We're going to work on champions and strength and ambition and masculinity and really unapologetic masculinity. And this is going to be a new landscape for a lot of young people who are used to growing up in a female-oriented society as opposed to a male-oriented society. And it's about fostering an environment, not just about men being overly macho or anything. No, we're talking about accountability also, where men and women succeed on merit and their contributions. And again, like I said, the boys are back. Somebody type the boys are back in the chat room. Now, look, the thing you have to understand is, let me say it like this. If this movement or this return to men leading and building and shaping society, it doesn't exist in isolation. It's deeply rooted in history, and it's supported by movements of the past and reflected in events today. Now, you're gonna learn something. I'm changing the format up. There's some videos, some interesting video, but I got some special guests coming in, right? You guys type special guest, somebody type special guest. I got some special guests coming in. The boys are back. That should be a hint. But again, look, so throughout history, men have stood at the forefront of progress. And during the Industrial Revolution, it was men who drove innovation, who built the factories and the railroads and the cities that formed the backbone of modern civilization. And these were providers, they were protectors, they were architects of the economy, and hard work was rewarded, discipline was rewarded, leadership was rewarded. And it was a time when society recognized that stability and progress depended on strong, capable men. Now let's fast forward to post-World War II, the post-World War II era, okay? And we see another undeniable resurgence of traditional values, the soldiers, okay? And shout out to all my guys, all my military guys. I'm happy to see that when Trump got reelected and they realized that Hegseth was going to be the Secretary of the Department of Defense, we had an influx of young men joining the military. And what nation doesn't want to have a strong military? Let Look, we got a lot of anti-American sentiment. And unfortunately, a lot of that is in the Black community. I'm gonna be honest with you. We got a lot of I hate America Black folks out there. And I don't understand that, because our ancestors were the only ones who literally, not only did we have to fight for our freedom, we had to fight for everybody else's freedom. And then after we finished fighting for our freedom from, from Great Britain, then we had to fight amongst ourselves for our freedom. And we've been fighting for freedom ever since. We as Black Americans, as foundational Black Americans, should be the most patriotic group of people at all. If you just step back and look at all that we've done for this country, whether we're talking about the inventions, whether we're talking about the participation and the volunteering participation to fight both enemies, foreign and domestic, whether we're talking about the United States Marine Corps, the Army, the U.S. Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard, even civil servants, whether we're talking about police officers or firemen, we are overrepresented. So I think that you guys, this strain of anti-American, you don't have anywhere else to go. If you've learned nothing else on my broadcast, I want you to absolutely be certain that you as a foundational Black American have nowhere else to go. You have no friends. Are you going to go to China? They don't want you over there. You're going to go to South America? You might come down there to visit, okay? They'll rob you on the exchange rate, but they don't want you and your Black selves there, both the men and the women. And if you haven't figured it out by now, our so-called African brothers and sisters don't want us there either. So where else do you have to go by process of elimination? Okay? If you got 43 million foundational Black Americans, understand that you don't have anywhere else to go. And so the best thing to do is what our ancestors did is keep fighting for our freedoms here and making America do the things that it promised to do. Okay, but we'll deal with that a little bit later. Now, back to what I was saying, after the post-World War II era, you had the resurgence of, you had thriving societies, soldiers who fought and sacrificed and returned home, not just as heroes, but as anchors of a thriving society. The nuclear family, you had a hardworking man. Okay, shout out to all the hardworking men. And speaking of which, I want to take a point of personal privilege and point something out to you all that I think is extremely important that we acknowledge. Extremely. Who's the hardest working men in America? Who works the most hours in America? Who are the hardest working men? We already know who the best fathers are, right? We learned that, right? Didn't we learn who the best fathers were? Who are the most involved fathers in America? Who are the most involved fathers in America? Brothers, help them out. They might not remember. Who are the most, according to the CDC study, who are the most, as far as race, who are the most involved fathers? That's right. Black men are the most involved fathers. Black men are the most involved fathers. Now, I got something else that's going to blow your mind. We always give Hispanic people, Hispanic men, the credit for being the most the hardest working group of men. But the truth is, according to the statistics, it's Black men. Look at this. Who works the most hours? Men, weekly hours worked. Average weekly hours worked by full-time employees by race, age 16 and up. This is on blackdemographics.com. What does that say? Look at this. I want next time they call you lazy, right? It says Black men, 43 hours a week. White men, 42.6. Asian men, 41.8. Hispanic men, 41.5. Black men, the source, U.S. Bureau of Statistics, fourth quarter 2024 current population survey prepared by blackdemographics.com. Do you hear that? Shout out to the brothers. Are you kidding me? We are the hardest working men in this country. Hell, look at me. I probably work at least 60 hours a week myself between my day job and coming here talking to y'all. So I just want to point that out. And that is something, shout out to all the hardworking men. I wanted to hit y'all with that statistic. Please screenshot. I'm going to make this big enough. Everybody take the time to screenshot that, share it on your page. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it so we can get the whole thing in. Look at that. Screenshot this, share it on your page. Screenshot it, share it on your page. Don't put my ugly face in it, okay? But just screenshot it and share it on your page. The reference is down here at the bottom. Black men work 43 hours. We work more hours than every other group of men in this country. So shout out to all you ladies out there. You should be saluting and applauding your brothers. Not only are we the most involved fathers, shout out to LTD, but we have found a way, okay, to be the hardest working group of men in America and still be the most involved fathers. That is amazing. That is amazing. You are amazing, brothers. Shout out to you, brothers, for being amazing. I'm proud of you. You should applaud yourself, okay? That's what I want you all to do. Applaud yourself for that. Now, let's get back to the business at hand. Like I was saying, the boys are back, and we are returning to an era of masculinity, okay? Again, and what I was talking about, you had hardworking men, you had dedicated, nurturing women, and I'm talking about the nuclear family post World War II, when the men came back from the war in the 50s. The GI Bill was in place, and it empowered these men. So that was something that the government put in place, as opposed to something like welfare, which empowered women to basically say, I don't need a man. They had the GI Bill, which helped men become better men. You see, and it ensured that they had the resources to lead once again. The GI Bill basically helped people with down payments on homes and et cetera. And it was time when masculinity wasn't questioned. It was honored, but then as history has shown time and time again, every era of strength is met with resistance. So what popped up after the 1950s? The feminist movement, okay? In the feminist movement, it was something that occurred from the 1960s all the way up through the 1990s. And it sought to challenge traditional roles, shifting society away from merit-based structure towards a culture of forced equality. And in response, men's rights advocates, they emerged and they pushed back against the policies that prioritize political correctness over personal accountability. Now, here's the thing. This was not ever really a black man and black woman problem. Black men never really had any sort of control over the Congress or running Fortune 500 countries. I'm not saying that black men weren't misogynists. I'm not going to say that there wasn't examples of SA, but again, that runs both ways, because everybody know when Auntie threw grits on Al Green, right? We know about that story, and we probably have some, if you got a black handled skillet in your household, then it was used for more than just frying bacon on a Sunday morning. Just keep that in mind. That black skillet. I'm just saying. I don't want to go too deep into it. Nevertheless, I'm not saying that black men were perfect. I'm definitely not saying that there wasn't SA. I'm not saying that. Okay, but what I'm talking about is this real life oppression. You can't work here. You can't go to school here. That's something that white men who were in power did to their women, okay? And so there was a legitimate fight for fairness in education and custody battles, and the legal system became necessary because society began overvaluing the role of men in families and workplaces and totally pushing aside. And the truth is, you need both. You can't have one without the other. Everybody needs to play their role. But now, as society moved into the 1980s and the 1990s, you had conservative leaders like Jerry Falwell and Pat Buchanan, and they led the charge against the growing influence of radical liberalism. And the moral majority and other movements pushed back against things like affirmative action, which truly was supposed to benefit black people, but it actually ended up allowing white women to benefit, okay? So even though there was a few black folks who benefited, but overall the vast majority of us didn't. And so nevertheless, these progressive and social policies reinforcing, some of the values that did not align with what we were used to. Okay. And so at this point, it's more on self-reliance as opposed to handouts, discipline, and the right to succeed on merit, not just social engineering. Now, my friends, listen to me. We find ourselves, okay, in the midst of another great reckoning. So over the past decade, we've seen an aggressive push towards diversity, equity, inclusion, et cetera, and is designed to foster fairness and redistribute power based on ideology rather than ability and merit. Okay, so think about that. Okay, think about that. It's not because you're good you got promoted. It's because you're a woman. It's not because you're excellent at what you do. It's not because you're excellent that you got allowed to come to medical school. It's because you're a man who wears a dress and identifies as a woman. All right. Nevertheless, in 2023, the Supreme Court struck down race-based affirmative action, and it marked a major victory for those who believe that merit, not identity, should be a determining factor in education and employment. Now, the odd thing is there were Asian people who led the fight for that, and now they're the ones suffering more because it really hadn't affected Black folks. It's helped white people, it's hurt Asians, and it really hadn't affected Black people at all. But nevertheless, that signified a cultural shift, and it's undeniable. You have influential figures like the gentleman I spoke about earlier, Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson. You guys know Dr. Jordan Peterson out of Canada. The man stood on business. He said, look, I'm not calling that man a girl. And they tried to fire that man from his university position. They tried to put him in jail. Of course, you got people like Joe Rogan who've risen as champions of masculinity and reminding men of their rightful place as leaders in society. They speak the truth so that, many men are afraid to, they don't want to say anything because they don't want to get canceled. And men should be strong. They should be resilient. They should be unapologetic, but they also, and you should pursue greatness. And the message is clear. Masculinity is not toxic. It's not weakness. We need strong men in this society. And now look no further, our political landscape. Donald Trump's presidency. Look, you don't have to like him, but respect the fact that this dude, they tried to unalive him. They tried to put him in prison with 4 different cases in 4 different states. Okay, they tried to take $500 million from him, right? And the fact that he was able to make a comeback like that, it's amazing. I just have to sit back and respect him as a man. Whether you like him or not, don't care about your politics. I know most Black people didn't vote for him, but the bottom line, as a man on some man stuff, the man kept on trucking. I got to respect that as a man. And so now he came back in with a whole new lease on life, and we're witnessing a resurgence of policies that favor meritocracy and economic strength and nationwide national pride. And Trump's leadership has emboldened men across the country to reject this victimhood mentality, right? And I know you ladies don't like men who always play the victim. Tell the truth. You don't like that. You don't want a man always talking about what he can't do and what he can't find and how hard his life has been. That does not make you feel good about him. I know it doesn't. Because I'm a man myself, and I know enough women, and I've talked to enough women. They don't like that, you see. And so it's better for society to have strong men. They're more difficult to live with because they're going to put boundaries on you. But I want you women to have good, solid, strong husbands, not men in your life, not weak men who cower and bow down. I want strong men, okay? And again, this is not just about politics. It's a movement. It's a movement that reminds us that the boys are back, as I said, and we're not, and we're not going to be silenced. You see, you know what I'm saying? But perhaps one of the most telling, now, I see Queen Candace. Queen, how you doing? I'm gonna answer your question because this is interesting. So you're referring to the 4-star general. He was replaced by a 3-star general. Is that the only quality? So she's talking about the Black man who Donald Trump initially put in position to be the Secretary of the Navy back in 2020. Okay, Queen Candace, remember that? I don't know if you know that. So you talking about that the brother. Donald Trump hired him. Donald Trump now said, okay, I'm going to relieve you of your duty and I'm going to put this 3-star general in place. Do you know who that 3-star general is, baby girl? I'm going to learn you something because you going in on that. His credentials are higher. Okay, so you basically said on paper, he has a higher rank. But do you know who the general is? Do you know? So the 4-star general, who's the brother? Right, somebody type Raising Cain in the chat room. So the general that replaced him is Raising Cain. Do you know who Raising Cain is? You say he's a Vietnam veteran. Okay. Yes, I am a veteran. Okay, good. I'm glad you know. So do you know what Raising Cain did? Do you know what Raising Cain did? Raising Cain, no, rank is not sufficient. Raising Cain is the general who wiped the Taliban out in 3 weeks. That's who he is. So he stands on business. So we don't care how what his rank is. And if you're in the military, you know there's some lieutenants fresh out of college who know far less than your gunnery sergeant. Who do you want leading you in the field? You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand that, baby girl. I know you in the military, and that's all good and everything, and I respect you and I appreciate you for your service. But let's not turn this into a race thing. Let's just see it for what it is. I'd rather have Raising Cain, who eliminated the Taliban in 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks. Was it 3 weeks? Got rid of them in 3 weeks. That's who I want in charge. Okay, so we're not going to, but then you can't be in here. We're not going to be racial if it's not racial. I'm going to talk about that too towards the end, but we're going to get back to the broadcast. Shout out to LTD. So let's not over, and I'm going to talk about that. And a lot of people that's calling this man racist, and I'm talking about Trump. The truth is you're just scary. You're fearful. You didn't get your way. Let's just be honest. You didn't get your way, and and you're sad, and now you can't get your way. And, you know what I'm saying? And now my girl saying Obama got Osama. No, the Obama didn't get Osama. He's the president. SEAL Team 6 got Osama bin Laden, baby girl. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to get back to the broadcast. Anyway, so back like I was saying, we're seeing a shift back. It's going back. We're going back to some traditional values. Enough with embracing the victimhood, and everybody's a racist, and everybody's a misogynist, and everybody's a sexist. Okay, this is a movement. Okay, and one of the most telling things is the shift that is pushing against the transgender policies in women's sports. Okay, and states across the country are standing up and refusing to allow biological men to compete against women, reinforcing the fundamental truth that biology matters. In fact, fairness matters, and men of today are fighting for what's right, and not just for themselves, but for the integrity of competition and for the future youth. Now, we also see major cracks in this corporate push for woke and culture. Now, I know what woke used to be. Woke used to be don't be asleep to the system that's oppressing Black people. That was in the 90s, but woke has a new definition now. Okay, right? And so we saw companies like Disney and Bud Light who pander to these radical ideologies, and they've suffered massive financial losses due to boycotts and everyday Americans who refuse to be force-fed this political propaganda. Even tech giants, like Elon Musk, have spoken out and rejected DEI. These policies, they promote division, not unity, and the message is loud and clear. Men and women alike are rejecting the forced narratives and demanding a return to common sense. And at the same time, you got the decline of feminism, and it's becoming evident. You see what I talked about last night. These women are going back to saying, hey, I'd rather be a housewife. This whole working 9 to 5 is for the birds. You have a lot fewer women, according to the studies, you got a lot fewer women identifying as feminists, while more men are embracing this self-improvement, masculinity, and leadership. And the trad wife movement is on, cooking and cleaning and keeping the house up and being moms. These women are choosing to embrace traditional gender roles, and it's on the rise, and this is a good thing. Right? It's proof that women are they're able to see the value of restoring natural balance between the sexes, and the call of action and reclaiming our future is important. But, you know, make no mistake, it's not about excluding anyone. We're not trying to force women to go back to the kitchen and be pregnant. Nobody wants that. Some of us I don't have daughters, but some of you will have daughters. You don't want that. Okay, we're not diminishing women. I don't think anybody wants to create that level of division. That's not what we're trying to do. All right, this is about restoring balance. All right, a balance that has been lost for too long. And, you know, men and women, we need to work together, not compete. We need to collaborate, and we need to recognize that each has a vital role to play in building a thriving society. We don't want, I mean, you working with one hand if you're keeping half your population, you know, incapacitated and ignorant. That's not cool. We don't want that, right? But there's those who resist, those who will attempt to shame strong men into submission, and you know, they'll label us, they'll attack us, they'll try to silence us. But history shows that the strongest voices and the ones who challenge the status quo are the ones who change the world. And so I'm gonna ask you, are you ready to reclaim your place in history? Are you ready to stand up? Are you ready to push forward and build a future that honors strength, integrity, and hard work? And because, hey, the boys are back, and I'm happy for it. Now, that being the case, I want to bring my special guest in here. We're gonna take a little break. I got some video footage, and I want to definitely share with you guys. Y'all hit the number 1 button. We're gonna take a quick break. Y'all make sure you hit the number 1 button. Make sure you subscribe. I got some special guests in here. I'm gonna put the fair use on right quick. I want y'all to hit the number 1 button and give me a minute, and we are going to come right back in here with my very special guest. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Hit the like, 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 hit the like. It's a party going on, we all looking at Dennis. Spurling and subscribe, it only take you a minute. Hit the cash app, super chat, be a penny. One is real good, but 20 more will be plenty. Blizzard King pay a visit, big Baz my witness. Appreciate the love, that's black men doing business. Stand up, father and brother, lawyer is he. Hall of Fame game, he's known as Uncle D. Tell it just like be, representing for we know time is money, you learning and pay a fee. Know it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Say it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Yeah, know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winter, know this hit. Darren Hay watch, views. Hit the light, you know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winter, know this hit. Darren Hay watch, views. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like.
We still look at all the beautiful music that we've created. That's what's on the inside of us. We are wonderful people.
My name is Dennis Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. My mandate is to be an advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father. I have black sons. And I want to make sure that the issues confronting black men are defended, protected, enunciated, spoke upon by black men who have a vested interest in the black community. And so my draw to the Black Manosphere or YouTube in general to use my voice, my wisdom, my experience was solely because black men weren't being heard. But they're hearing us now. They're hearing us as to our issues related to modern relationships, politics, education, finance, and so many other things. And I'm extremely proud of these gentlemen. I'm extremely proud of the people who put this together. It is a wonderful event, and I look forward to attending in the years to come. Hey, man, I do what I do.
All right, welcome back. Let me get down. Let me hit the switches. What's up, man? These are Dennis and Rome. This is Dennis and Roman, as you see. They are, ecstatic to be here. I'm just so I can tell by their faces that they are overwhelmed to be here on the internet with daddy screaming at the internet at night. But my oldest son, who is sitting to, I guess this would be this hand, my right, your left, his name is Dennis. I sometimes nickname him the heir apparent. And this is, as you know, a man who needs no introduction, okay? A gentleman who you know from his stellar reviews of very complicated movies like The Godfather. You haven't seen him in a while. I guess he's been, I don't know what he's been doing. I don't really keep up with these people like that. Nevertheless, after a rigorous night of Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and what else do you practice? What do y'all practice? Shotokan and lifting weights and boxing. What else? What other stuff? I had y'all doing some Krav Maga for about a year. And what else? Kung Fu. Yeah. So let's just, so I'm gonna ask a question. You guys kind of answer, just because we got to make sure you have the credentials to critique this footage that we're gonna. But we about to watch some fight footage. Okay, we're gonna watch some scrapping. Okay, we talking about real men tonight. Okay, we're gonna watch a real man fight we're gonna watch a real man fight a sir. Okay, we're gonna watch a real man fight a sir. And I want you gentlemen to help me rate the technique. Somebody type balloon pop in the chat room. Somebody type balloon pop Aaron Sloan. I like this brother. I don't care what y'all say. There's been people on the internet. You see what your boy doing right now? Yeah, forget you. Okay, I'm with him 100%. Okay, I don't know if y'all have seen this footage, because I know you don't follow old people YouTube. Y'all follow like TikTok. But let's start.
Welcome.
Okay.
I'll have you hold this.
That's Aaron.
All right. If we can have your.
Just so you know, y'all know where Daddy's from, right? Daddy's from the ghetto. Shout out, Daddy's from the ghetto. We agree. Y'all been to Daddy's. Where Daddy was raised. Tell him where Daddy's from. Speak up. Come on.
Los Angeles.
What part of Los Angeles? Hollywood. Daddy from Hollywood. No. No, what neighborhood? Okay. When you went there and you was a little kid, what did you notice about the yard? What did you notice?
It had no grass.
The yard had no grass in it. That is from the ghetto. Okay, that is. I can't see my other son's head. I can't see his head. Why don't y'all assume I can't see your head? I see the top of your head. Look like you need a haircut. Let me see if I can do. But I don't know what's wrong with these kids. Look at that. There you go. Daddy, where's Daddy from again?
Los Angeles.
Daddy's from the ghettos of South Central Los Angeles. Can y'all hear them? Can y'all hear them in the back? Can y'all hear them? And where y'all from? Not the ghetto, right? Y'all some suburban kids, ain't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you drive nice cars and nice clothes and all these things. That's beautiful for you. I would rob y'all if I was young. I would take your stuff and kick you in the shins and take your lunch money. But that's another thing. Okay, that's another thing. Nevertheless, you all have how many? Let's start with the smaller person to the left. How many sparring matches and fights have you had since you was a little boy? When did you start hitting people? When you was a child? When you were 3 years old, what did your daddy do to make you? What did he do to you when you were 3 and put you in the little belt? You had a little white belt and everything. And what? And how long have you been getting punched in the head and the stomach and kicked in the back and things? How long? 12 years. You've been fighting for 12 years. How many fights have you had? Of course, organized, right? Other than that one time in the 3rd grade, how many fights have you had, sir? How many times a week? How many fighting matches have you had in your 12 years of fighting?
Somewhere probably over 5,000.
5,000 sparring matches. So this little boy has heard ding, ding, ding 5,000 times. Well, you look like you're handsome. You look like you didn't hit you in the face. You move your head quick. What about you, sir? What about you? He's very happy to be here. Tell him you're happy to be here. Thank you, sir. I sound so sincere. He's headed to the university to major in engineering, and he definitely has an engineering personality. He's one of them smart kids that don't talk to nobody. Okay. But anyway, how many times have you had a sparring match where you throwing punches and kicks and such? Yeah, okay. Oh, how many a week, more or less, sir? More or less. About 2 or 3 fights a week. I mean, we should book y'all. I mean, y'all could really make some money we could book y'all. Y'all should really think about that. I get a little spare change. I could be y'all manager. I could take my little small 25-30% cut, put y'all on a 360 contract, and we could be rich together. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with it. 360, yeah, baby. Everything you do, I do. Everything you get, I get. That way, Daddy can retire from this old pesky practice of law. Daddy had to stay up, stressing myself out. You see, I'm losing my hairline. See that? Look at that. Look at that. See that? I get my hairline back. Know what I'm talking about? Yeah, be rich. Yeah, let y'all work. But anyway, and also you all practice jujitsu. Is that certain? That's also true, sir? And how long have you been taking jujitsu, sir? 10 years. You've been taking jujitsu for 10 years. Okay, and you also entered into competitions because I've seen them. Have you been in the Yes. Okay. What about you, sir? Have you? Okay. So that's I trained him to talk to the police like that. That's why he quiet. He don't answer nothing. What? Lawyer. I want to talk to my lawyer. Plead the fifth. I've been training the boy right. Nevertheless, so you guys have some. We're gonna look at some video footage. First, we're gonna review this.
Your name?
Okay.
My name
is Aaron Sloan. Okay. Daddy, I like this young man. He's from where I'm from. He's from the ghetto too. Had a hard life, not like you dudes. Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and
did a little stint in the penitentiary. Okay. All right, but he redeemed himself. He's a plumber.
bring out our next single guy.
Fair use.
Hello.
my name is Aaron.
Aaron, how old are you?
Ma'am, I'm 29.
29. Okay, and what do you do?
I'm a licensed.
I think everybody in Black America has seen it, and half of white America. But what I do want to point out, okay, Dennis, you got to put your head in. Go ahead, put your head in. They need to see you. Okay, you know what? Your hairline is making me feel like pull my hairline back down again, because your hairline making me feel a little insecure. Praise God. It didn't go down right there, but anyway, never mind. So what I'm saying is, I like the fact that he also both of y'all don't like hairy on women, right?
I didn't say that.
That's what it sounds like to me.
All right.
Sound like prejudice. Let's go ahead and go to another video. All right, I'm gonna let y'all. Now I want y'all to get in tight. Okay, come on up in here. We're gonna need to get both of you. I need y'all to review the video footage. Okay, I need you to review the video footage so that we can. Now we're gonna run it. Okay, let's start here. All right. All right, y'all ready?
Down the hall.
There you. So you coming in. This is from the little ghetto show on Zeus Network. Yeah. You saying we can't say I want y'all to speak loud. Come on in tight.
I don't know what Zeus Network is.
You don't know, that's good. You don't need to know what that is. Look at it.
Down the hallway, I just keep hearing some commotion. If I hear my name, I got to make my presence felt.
Hey, niggas is bullying you.
We in there talking about.
Hello, good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Queen. What's up? How'd you
what's
sleep?
Up, sir? Who you talking to?
Hey, Queen.
Talking about some Queen.
You gonna be yourself today?
You know what I'm saying? What? What
you gonna
mean,
be yourself?
Myself?
Like,
hey, man,
be
you
yourself.
better watch how you talking to me, man, for real.
What's the
What
hostility?
you mean the hostility? You a man, right?
A trans.
Aaron, you keep calling me a man. You had to bring the man out. Now the man's here.
Did you care about that when you were trying to kiss me?
Trying to kiss you? Man,
Aaron.
That shit switched up real fucking quick. All I know is we went from having a conversation, and next thing you know, Deuce's motherfucking. The boys.
Okay, so let's be serious. Be serious. You ready? I see y'all back here giggling. Now look, y'all still, everybody in the chat room, y'all shouldn't be laughing. You're supposed to be professionals. Y'all supposed to be professionals. Y'all laugh at people when they getting beat up at y'all little schools and jiu-jitsu places. Y'all are not represented. Okay, don't be laughing at people and stuff like that, sir. Let's go ahead and review the footage. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze the footage. First things first. Okay, let's slide back and let's begin to review. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So bam, hold on. The action happened. Okay. Slide forward. All right. And we're gonna go from this point. He comes in, has a seat, and everybody in the chat room. Look, I don't want nobody in the chat room laughing. I don't want to see no emojis and happiness going on. We're not here for that. We don't relish in other people's pain here. We don't laugh at people. We don't laugh at people here. I don't care if you are a man with a dress on. You have a right, okay, to wear your dress, okay? All my ma'am, sirs out there, you have a right. So let's go ahead and try to review the footage with dignity and grace. Now let's look at this. My boy sat down. Now, okay, is his posture, the way he's sitting, is he prepared for an attack or to launch an attack? Explain, tell us, sir.
Well, he's leaning backwards like this. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think he came in. I think he came in like looking for a conversation, but they approached the situation like very. They approached the situation like very. They were trying to provoke something.
They were trying to.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Because she's like.
Did you call her?
I was about to say it.
It,
I don't know
say it?
what.
I don't think that you're gonna get canceled.
I don't know what the person would like to be called by, but
You don't know?
No, but
you're gonna get canceled. You're 15. You're gonna be canceled.
But
I can't help you with everything.
They provoked the situation by calling.
Oh, it's a they them. Is that what you're saying? Donald Trump is the outlaw of they them calling in the federal government. So
the person on the left.
The person on the left.
Provoked the situation by calling Aaron on the right a queen. So yeah, it's
that's what I mean. But they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Well, it's just not true. We should keep our words very kind.
We should. Okay. Well, I don't know, sir. I don't want to know. Anyway, let's go ahead and review the footage further. So now the conversation is happening.
What
You
you
gotta
mean?
be yourself. Like,
hey man,
be
you
yourself.
better watch how you talking to me, man. For real.
What's the
What you mean the
hostility?
hostility? You a man, right?
He misgendered him, sir. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So who's really at fault here for misgendering? Because this is obviously a shim. Okay, he's this is a shim. Be yourself. That's the shirt. Let's keep reviewing about this.
A trans.
Aaron, you keep calling me a man.
You had to bring the man out.
Don't laugh. We're not laughing. Let's keep listening.
Now the man's here.
Did you care about that when you were
man,
trying
right?
to kiss me?
Oh. Uh-oh.
I just don't think. Why would you say that?
Yeah. Sir.
I mean, was that true?
I don't know. I think they might have just said that.
Because if it wasn't true, I mean, it's rightfully so. I wouldn't want
We're
that.
we're not going to get off in all that. We're going to talk about the fight technique. Now look at his stand. Is this what kind of his weight is leaning forward, and I see his opponent here, Jim. You think? I don't know. They got straight to it.
Not because they both stand up.
Boom! Oh, look at that.
you know the thing in the Hulk. You know that clip, like.
No, I don't. But let's talk about. Let's go ahead and review the fight footage. Now, I want to look at this. Now let's look at the foot. He's stepping forward with the right hand, and he's throwing the right. What is this? An overhand right?
He actually slipped her right. Well, it's there, right.
Yes, sir.
And then
he slipped the right. Okay.
So he actually landed a punch on this one, so he did more damage.
He did more damage. Okay, yeah. Well, let's keep looking. Boom. Boom.
Go back like half a second.
Go back half a second. Okay.
No, like 4.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
All right, so they stand up.
Boom.
Pull back the punch. Reload.
Boom.
So her head is down. His head is still up. That means
they're both he's. Yeah, we'll just call them he's.
They're both just swimming.
Yeah.
All right. But look, the big dude is going for the takedown. He must have some jiu-jitsu training. The larger individual.
What big dude?
The big dude with the wig on. It says he's a girl.
That doesn't look like a takedown. That just goes.
Look at him leaning forward. Look at that. Oh, that's a takedown.
That's just coming at him.
I mean, but it looked to me. It looked to me like he trying to take him down. That's what it looked to me. What should Aaron have done in this particular Should he have tried to close guard on
if he would have grabbed her right here, well, it's a fast situation. But if he would have put his leg right on her,
just call him sir. We'll call him sir.
On the sirs,
they.
On their left leg,
yes,
he
sir.
could have scissor sweeped it.
Scissor sweep. So Aaron should work on the scissor. But see, now he's on the couch. And the security came in.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Now he's framing up. Call it. Let me see. I don't know. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, man. Okay, now what's going on here? That the dude of the they them wig fell off. This is a mess. This is a whole mess, huh? Yeah, this is look at that. That is a date. That's a sir. That's definitely a sir. Still talking. Yes, sir. This is good television as far as I'm concerned. Good entertaining. What do y'all think? I've watched it a couple of times. Grabbing this dude, So look at that. Yeah, this is so and then nevertheless, I'm just frankly speaking, in a situation like that, I don't necessarily disagree with his response. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I don't agree. I don't disagree with Aaron's response to being insulted and called you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fellas, I just want you, the reason I'm talking tonight, we're talking about the boys are back. And I'm kind of trying to explain to them that I believe in instilling masculinity in the boys. You see what I mean? And sometimes you just got to stand up and defend yourself. Sometimes you got to defend your integrity. And, unfortunately, when you got somebody provoking you like that and disrespecting you, and, I may have just walked out of the room. You see what I mean? But if I did decide to take that route, then I guess I would. You know what I mean? Yeah. What are your thoughts on it as a young 15-year-old boy when you see? Because, I didn't grow up with this sort of problem. We had gangs, we had drugs. We didn't have society trying to force us to call men women and women men. I didn't have to deal with that. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on it from your perspective as a young man?
Like how he conducted the situation?
No, just generally how they're trying to push this.
I don't think it should be pushed to and if you're gonna do it, keep it to yourself, but don't push it onto somebody and then act like it should be the regular, because it's never been the regular until now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what do you think? How do you know? You're young, you're 15. How do you know it's not? Do you just know it's not the regular because you've studied, or it just feels wrong?
Like in history, this hasn't been a big thing in history as big as it is now. Mm-hmm. It has never been like the regular. It's been occurrent, it's been happening, but it has been like this many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it feel like they're just pushing it on you guys?
Yeah.
And where is it at a lot? Like you see it on TikTok.
Western.
Say again?
Like the Western part of the world.
The Western. Oh, okay. You mean West. But where do they push it? Social media, books, TV. I know
push it pretty much everywhere now. Mm-hmm. It's in the streets, it's in social media. Mm-hmm. You got parades for it or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm telling the folks tonight is that now there's a pushback. Now that Donald Trump's in office. Now, by the way, did you support Donald Trump? Are you a Trumper?
I can't vote.
You can't vote, right? Or were you a legal alien or something?
No, I just
call ICE. Let's get him out of here. We're gonna call ICE.
18.
Somebody put the ICE number in the chat room. You can't vote. Are you illegal? Where are you from? What's your name, son?
Texas.
Texas. Oh, really close to the Mexican border. What's your name?
Roman.
Oh, is that short for Ramon? Is it Ramon?
No, it has Greek origins.
Oh, it's Greek. It's Greek, but you don't look Greek to me. You look a little black. Maybe good hair, black, but black.
Ramon is Spanish.
Ramon. Well, I don't know. Ramon is pretty close to Ramon to me, Papi. Where do you like to visit? What places have you visited?
What places have I visited?
Yeah.
With a visa, I've been to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, Dominican Republic. They got a lot of Ramons down there. Are you sure you're not from, maybe need to call ICE. Son, get you on out of here. Get you on back to your people. Right? That's like cool. Well, where's your mama from?
Where's my mom from?
Yeah.
She's just black.
Oh, she's just black?
Yeah.
She's just regular old black, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Regular old black. That's not really answering my question.
African American.
She's African American. Okay.
Louisiana.
She's from Africa. She's from Africa. Oh, Louisiana. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely African American. What about you in the back, sir? Where are you from? You look a little African to me. With the nose, yes, you do. I see your nose. Maybe Senegal. Looks like you may be a Senegalese. Where's that ICE number? Can we get that ICE number together? Because if I can get y'all deported, guess what? Daddy doesn't have to pay any more child support. Isn't that awesome for me? Salute. Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get off subject. Apologize. But anyway, so would you like to add anything? I know you're about to be a grown-up. And did you support Trump? Did you vote for Trump? You didn't vote? You stayed at the couch, huh? You voted on the couch, huh? You're not old enough? Really? You look old enough. You look like you're about 30. You look like you look old enough to me. You driving? You got a job?
Yes.
Okay, you probably,
I mean, I'm not old enough to vote.
Not old enough to vote.
I'm 17.
You got your birth certificate? You sure you're 17? Might have been brought here illegally when you were young. I don't know. Since you didn't seem not to know how old you are. I mean, I'm concerned. You do? Really? You're 17?
Yes.
Right. Well, I don't know, guys. But anyway, nevertheless, I think what we're seeing happening is there something in your head? You got lice? You got ticks, fleas? I'm just asking you, and they're twiddling back there. I'm just asking questions. I have questions. No, I'm not. I'm going to ask you something different because I don't want you to have already pre-thought your BS response, sir. Because I know what would happen if I told him to ask him a question. You're going to ask, you think I'm going to use the same answer? So I'm not. Okay. What I'm going to ask you is, when did you make that contribution to Kamala Harris's campaign? And how does it feel to have taken that L, right? That big L, Kamala lost, right? What do you think about that? Let's hear what your thoughts are. Go ahead, sir.
I don't support Kamala Harris.
Oh, so you're a Trumpster. Oh, you're a Trumpster. You too, huh? Both of y'all, two Trumpians. Why is it that you support? Why did you not support Kamala Harris, our first Black woman president? Are you a sexist? Are you a misogynist, sir? Answer the questions. Don't run from it.
She didn't actually do anything to help Black people.
Oh, so you're one of these pro-Black, right-wing, pro-Blackity blacks. She didn't help Black people. Are you only concerned about Black people? Huh? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you're just concerned about Black people, huh?
Well, she wouldn't have helped me, and I'm Black.
Okay.
So that would spread to me.
Sounds selfish. Sounds really selfish to me. You're only concerned about you being Black. It's all about you. Wouldn't help me. What makes you think that Kamala Harris would just do something for Black people when she's the president of all people?
Well, I would have voted for Trump if I was old enough to vote, because I wouldn't want to pay that much in taxes.
Oh, is that right?
I would want to pay less in taxes.
Is that right? So you just got it all wrapped up. You just got his little rap game all up, huh? You just got all the answers, huh? Just got all the answers. That's good to know that you guys have all the answers to every question that I'm asking. Sounds like y'all are some right-wing, pro-Black, misogynist, sexist, teenagers. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. And violent. 5,000 fights. You need to go to therapy. That's what you need to do.
They weren't like, we had gloves on.
You had gloves on. Oh, great. It's great. Well, anyway, I'm going to thank you all for your time. I appreciate you gentlemen for helping us with the fight footage. We certainly do appreciate you taking time, and you know, good to know that you are you know, thinking about your world. 15, 17. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the audience here?
No.
No, nothing else. Nothing else. You want to say anything about when you say something to Donald Trump? He's probably watching. He's a big fan. So, what you want to tell him? Go ahead.
Do you have anything?
No.
Oh. You guys have as much personality as a block of wood. I mean, move out of my way. Let me get back to my spot, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all can back in the driver's seat for Uncle D. Y'all like the show? You have a good time here tonight? Mm-hmm. You did? Yeah, anything else you want to add, sir? When you gonna come back with the movies?
When am I gonna come back?
Yeah, when you gonna come back with the movies, man?
Sometime soon.
Sometime you should start your own channel. How many of you all think that the Crimson Sun should come back with some movies and do some movie reviews? He's very good at it. How do you guys think? Everybody hit the #1, but somebody type Crimson Sun in the chat room. I've been trying to tell them they need to put up some kid self-defense videos. That's what I've been trying. I've watched that. I'd watch them fight kids. Okay, wouldn't y'all like to see some kid fights up in here? That'd be entertaining if I'm concerned. But anyway, thank y'all so much, gentlemen. Y'all can get on up out of here. Get on up out of here. Ease on up. Slide on out, Playboy. Yeah. I don't like to share the stage with nobody. Tell these kids, get on up out of here. Yeah, go on and put some lotion on. That's what you need to do. Get you some lotion. That's what you need, some lotion. You get some cocoa butter. It's good for the skin. Anyway, welcome back with me. I don't need nobody else. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, again, and I brought my friends in here to let you know what I'm saying. It's real. They didn't know what I was going to talk about at all. They, you know, but they are facing these sort of challenges, and it makes it difficult to be a father when not only do you have to teach your kids about the basic stuff of manhood, but you also got to teach them about that, what they're learning about, you know, sex and sexuality is just weird. And when you got to being pushed by the government, it's crazy. So again, what we're looking at is time, you know, as we re-embrace the resurgence of traditional values and masculinity, it's crucial to recognize that not all men will be on board with these changes. Now, I truly didn't know. I actually I knew Roman was a little Republicanish. I did know that, but I actually thought my older son was a little bit more progressive in his thought, but apparently not. And that's just a sign of the times. And I think the older they get, you know, and the more they learn, the more they'll realize, hey, you know, they've developed their own opinions and attitudes. And as long as they can defend them, I'm cool with it. You know, but the thing is, there's a lot of men who are still so hell-bent on being, I'll call them mama's boys. You know, they've spent years aligning themselves with overly supportive ideologies, often prioritizing political correctness over personal accountability and strength. And for these men, the landscape is changing, and it won't be easy. You know, the men who are ready to embrace a more masculine, dominated society are growing impatient after decades of navigating the complexities of first, second, third, and fourth wave feminism. Many feel that a significant portion of the last 60 to 70 years has diluted the essence of what it means to be a man. And it's led to confusion and frustration. And as we move forward, there's going to be palpable tension. Now, those men who cling to these outdated notions of masculinity that prioritize appeasement over assertiveness, you're going to find yourself facing hostility from other men who've been yearning for the return of values that emphasize strength, leadership, and accountability. The patience is wearing thin. And the call for men to step up and reclaim their identities is louder than ever. And this isn't about creating division. It's about fostering a culture that encourages growth and resilience. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Men who are hesitant to embrace the changes, they're going to find themselves challenged. They're going to find themselves questioned. They're going to find themselves ostracized by those who are ready to forge ahead. And it's time for men to take a hard look in the mirror and ask themselves, are we going to continue to support a culture that prioritizes fragility or over strength? Are we ready to step into a new era where accountability and toughness are celebrated? I celebrate toughness, and I expect it from my children. That's why I get myself out there and do jujitsu, you see, in these other sports, right? Because I want to make sure I'm leading from the front. And, you know, as I said, are we ready to step into this new era? You know, the choice is yours, you know, and men who choose to lead, they're going to be the ones who define this chapter. So we need to think about that. Now, the women who continue to push the girl boss narrative, somebody type girl boss in the chat room. Okay. You know, that's, you know, the idea that women always come first. In this environment, we're cultivating a return to traditional values and a more masculine oriented society. And those who cling to those outdated ideologies, you're going to face some significant pushback. For years, we've seen relentless promotion of female empowerment at the expense of acknowledging the strengths and contributions of men. You literally have women out there who say stuff like, we don't need men. And that's just foolishness. You know, how can you say you don't need men in a world that men built and maintain? Okay. Now, again, it's essential to celebrate women's achievement, right? But that girl boss mentality has often morphed into an adversarial stance against men, and it's fostered a culture of competition rather than collaboration. And in this new era, the mentality is not going to be tolerated in the same way it once was. Women who insist on prioritizing themselves above all else, you're going to find yourselves challenged by men who are no longer willing to accept that narrative, and that the one that undermines their own role and contributions and identities. And this is not about, I'm not trying to diminish women's achievements, you know, whether they be in a courtroom, in a laboratory, on a field of sport or field of play. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. But it's about recognizing that true empowerment comes from mutual respect and partnership, not from placing one gender above another. Men did that. Women didn't like it. Now women doing that and men don't like it. And you got pushback. And that's what happens. See, the reality is women who continue to promote a divisive agenda, you're going to be met with scrutiny and maybe some hostility. Okay. I'm just saying, ladies, you got to chill with that, you know, and I like the way Aaron the plumber stood on business. Those women were openly hostile to him and he pushed back. My little boy, not little boy, Roman saw that and he said, we respect that, you know? And I still very much respect Aaron the plumber, you know? Now, again, I might have handled it a little different. I would never be on the show. And I've told my sons, don't ever go on those shows like that so they can exploit you. But if that's your career path, he had to do what he had to do. You're not going to sit there and insult that man and make these lies and fabrications up, talking about this, that, and the other. I have to respect that. He stood on his principles, and I'm okay with him standing on his principles. I'm glad he didn't get hurt, but the whole show, and even in this situation here, I want you guys to understand something. So after all that was over, they invited him back. I'm gonna turn the sound down because I don't want any problems. But basically, this is the little leader of the show. I think her name is Erica Mina or something like that. And what you'll watch is she gives him, I guess, whatever that is. Y'all follow this, not so much me. But basically, you'll notice that she's going to touch him on the side of his face, and it's kind of like a slap. It's demeaning. You see what I mean? It's a demeaning slap. And he came back there, but instead of hugging him, she gonna slap him a little bit. Not too aggressive, but it's enough to try to sun him down. And I know my East Coast people know that. You see what I mean? She's saying he's a cool dude, you a hothead, blah, blah, blah. Speaking to him in a very totalitarian manner, blah, blah, blah. And watch this, bam, she slapped him and hit him in the head. And now he like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. My boy said, no, you not. You're not gonna just slap me up on my head like that. And so my man started going off. You see? I'm not playing the sound because you guys can watch this on the internet. Now get on over there. And she said, nah, he said, nah, I'm gonna say something. I can't let you just do that. That's demeaning, you know. And I appreciate this young black man for standing up for himself. And consistently, this young black man, whether we're talking about the Balloon Pop show, whether we're talking about on this show right there, he's not taking any disrespect. You're not challenging his manhood. You're not putting him down. I love that about this young black man. Okay? I'm just trying to tell y'all, my sons, I would expect them to do the same thing. Stand up for yourself. And this is where we are. You know, that girl boss rhetoric that tries to diminish black men and diminish men in general, you're going to get a backlash. And so this young man right here, look, I'm going to tell you something. Hey, and when you read the comments, most people agree with him. Like, why is she playing these games? My man started, she about to start. She like, stop. He like, nah, keep your hands off me. You don't need to slap me. Don't demean me. You could have hugged me. I respect that. You understand me? And so all you people who are trying to get me to say, I'm not going to do that. I understand where this young brother's coming from. You understand? You're not going to keep disrespecting men and putting them down and trying to demean them. He ain't going for it. And I respect that. My man said, I tear this whole thing down. I loved it for him, man. And again, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I appreciate what the young brother did. You understand what I'm saying? She slapped him, bam, they running it back. Now everybody else, oh, that's not a big deal. It was a big deal to him. Keep your hands to yourself. Stop all that plate touching and such. You see what I'm saying? They took his little eggplant, whatever, back. But I don't care. And my man, he turned up all the way. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. But he started taking dudes running. He take you know, other people don't understand. But the truth is, man, and y'all go tell Aaron, he's on his way to stardom. And I respect what he did. Respect my personal space. How would the situation have been if a woman had slapped a man had slapped a woman in the face? How would it have been? Just even this little playful stuff. Y'all have been like, he need to keep his hands to himself. Right? Yeah, respect. And I understand where Aaron has come from. He's not letting nothing slide. I respect that. You see what I'm saying? I respect that to the utmost. So shout out to him. Y'all go over there to his channel. Somebody, mods, put Aaron the Plumber's channel. Y'all go over there and subscribe to my man's channel. Here it is right here. And y'all go tell him Uncle D said him, I'm proud of him. Keep up the good work. I don't care what any of the rest of these folk on YouTube have to say. He did what he was supposed to do. He's commanding respect. You're not going to put your hands on me. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to put me in a situation where some man in a dress is challenging my manhood. And I'm gonna stand for that. I can't be mad at him for that. You know, because if all you got is your balls and your word. In other words, all you have is your manhood and your word, your integrity. And you can't let people take that away from you. And I want y'all to understand that that's how serious we are. In a society where men have been pushed to the brink and told what we can and can't do. You understand what I'm saying? And now we're like, nah, we ain't going for it. You know, so Aaron Sloan, to me, as far as you youngsters, he's not the hero you wanted, but he is the hero you need. You understand what I'm saying? That's exactly what's going on. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a little quick break. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna hit this this break button. I'm gonna get right back into it, and we're gonna wrap it up. We're not gonna be here all night. We got a little something. I wanted to hit some of these things. I thought it was important just to keep y'all abreast of what's happening, so you can kind of know what's really going on out here. But again, I need y'all to hit that like button. I need you to subscribe to the channel. If you've learned something, if I've inspired you, and if you learn something, I should earn something. Okay, that's all I'm saying. If you learn something, I should earn something. But I'll be right back. Y'all hit the #1 button.
Hit the like, 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 hit the like. There's a party going on, we all looking at dinners. Spurling and subscribe, it only take you a minute. Hit the cash app, super chat, be a penny. One is real good, but 20 more will be plenty. Blizzard King pay a visit, Big Blast my witness. Appreciate the love, there's black men doing business. Stand up, father and brother, lawyer is he. Hall of Fame game, he's known as Uncle D. Tell it just like B, representing for we know time is money, you learning and pay a fee. Know it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Say it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Yeah, know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winter, know this hit. Darren Hay watch, views. Hit the light, you know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winter, know this hit. Darren Hay watch, views. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like.
We still look at all the beautiful music that we've created. That's what's on the inside of us. We are wonderful people. All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Okay. So shout out to TIQS, man. I appreciate you guys. We got 10 super chats. I appreciate that, man. Look, man, this environment, right, is changing. And again, I'm not here saying we need to trample over women's rights. That's not what I'm saying. But we can't trample over the men under the guise of empowering women, okay? And women who push this agenda, you know, you need to recognize that there's a real reality coming, okay? The men who are stepping up are going to demand accountability, okay? They're going to seek clarity, all right? And again, you're looking at a situation where we fostered a culture that literally undermines men and hates men, not because of something they've done, but merely who they are. And the landscape is changing, and collaboration is not competition, right? And that's what's going to define our future. Like I said, the boys are back. Now, I want to share with you guys something that I found interesting, and I'm going to bring this up, okay? And I want to let you guys check this out. This is from my comment section. I read my comments too, by the way. I read all my comments because that lets me know where you all are coming from and what you all are thinking. And I want to share this comment that I saw earlier in my broadcast, earlier on my post here. Check this out. You know, and I get, you know, some people are like, why do you respond to the comment? Because that's, you know, you got to. You know what I'm saying? You got to let the people know you. I hear you. I see you, whether they like it or not. I hear you. I see you. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Where all my black Trump supporters at? Where all my black Democrats at? Where my couch people at? Huh? Where my people who sat on the couch? If you sat on the couch, type couch in the chat room. Huh? If you sat on the couch, type couch in the chat room. Where my couch people at? That's what I want to know. Where my couch people at? Huh? I want to know where the couch people at. The couch people really wanted to vote. They got exactly what they wanted. I bet you're going to pay attention. They're going to pay attention now. Okay? All the couch people. Because the couch is what said, nah. Yeah, there we go. I see my couch people like, I can't vote for either one of these people. Now, I oftentimes will just post things up. Shout out to LTD, man. I appreciate it. We got 12 super chats. Good looking out for everybody who's contributing. You guys are the real MVPs, man. Thank you so much. Good looking out. I appreciate y'all, man. But let me see here. I'm trying to find this doggone post. From somebody who was real negative. Well, anyway, man, somebody decided to go into my oh, I know just where it is. I'm sorry, you guys. Them kids got me distracted. That's what happened. Blame them kids. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. So I put a short up the other day, a little short video. Okay, and some of you might have, and it just kind of acknowledged what I saw Trump doing. And every now and then I'll do it. You know. Let me know if you guys see this.
You don't have a whole lot of
I put this
oversight.
video up the other day.
All those rights. Where the average
It
American
basically
gets
said
fired.
America's back in business
Boss
under
can
Trump.
call you in at 10 o'clock.
And as I scroll the comments, you know, most people were very receptive. They said stuff like, although I agree most things with you, this business with Trump and you is troubling. Trump eventually will come after FBAs as soon as he's done with the poor white trash. His agenda is destroy black middle class and establish elitism. Is that really his agenda? I mean, is this really his agenda? And the thing is, like, haven't they been trying to destroy us for 400 years? You think that Trump is going to be able to destroy us in 4 years? I mean, if that was really his agenda, we're going to just sit back and let the whole middle class be destroyed. We're not going to adjust. We're not going to adapt like our ancestors had to deal with straight up, racism. They couldn't even, drive through the country without, having to deal with sundown towns. And so, I say, why are you scared? And that was my response. And the brother said, I have 4 combat tours with the U.S. Army Special Forces. The only thing I fear is God, bro. But I do know history. There is a purge of black veterans in administration and government. And one thing we don't. Okay, but again, you did all those tours and, shout out to all the veterans. But what are you scared of? What are you scared of? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's fear. It's like, golly, it's so irrational. It's fear. And then there's this other one here. Let me see if I can find this cat. Let me see if I can find this dude in here. You're a sellout by this guy. Okay. And so I'm like, man, let's just keep it 100. Once somebody hit him before I did. No, you're selling out the lies and give away our money for every other country but our own. And I said, sell out to who? Who am I selling out? Right? And sell out for what? And then my response to him was, hey, man, you're probably a drug addict and a convict. Why would I care what you think? Even if I was, why would I care? You have not even got to the point where I should even respect what you have to say. And so it forces people, you can see people like to throw stones, but they don't like it when you throw stones back at them. And again, I don't hold back with folk. You say something slick to me, I'm gonna go slick back with you. You see what I'm saying? Nevertheless, again, most of the comments were supportive. We're not looking at this as an emotional thing. We're looking at it like, well, what's in it for us? Again, most folks who voted for the couch. We got a lot of people who voted for the couch. All right, you voted for the couch, cool. You voted for the couch, you really don't have any say-so in what's happening, But the bottom line is we need to address that, and I will in the closing statement. But the first thing I want to do is thank my sons for joining me. They got to go to work tomorrow. They got to go to their job. They got to go to their job tomorrow. But I appreciate them coming through. Again, the boys are back in charge. It's about time. I want to take this opportunity to thank the real MVPs of this broadcast. Man, big shout out to all of my Cash App folks, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me late tonight, man. I had to go to jujitsu. I try to roll at least 10 times a week. And for the past couple of weeks, as you guys know, I've been a little sick. Turns out I had some sort of, cold or stomach virus or whatever's been going around. So I feel a little better. I'm glad I'm not too terribly sick. And, but anyway, big shout out to AB. Thank you so much for the $5 Cash App. And now I want to thank the folks. We got 12 super chats. Let's try to get 15. That'll be clean. Okay, we got 12 and it's almost 12. That means I've been working. But big shout out to I'm ready for a 24K goal message tonight. Hey, man, I appreciate you, brother. I just wanted to hit it and quit it. We are an hour and 38 in. Normally I do 3 hours, man, but I just wanted to hit this thing and quit it. Go, Unc. I'm so ready for this show. I've got my popcorn ready. Let's go. Yes, Andrew Tate as well. He can use your wisdom in studying this. Keep leading and being so amazing. Proud of you. Thank you so much, LTD. You are awesome, man. LTD came through, bro. You get me out the man. Good looking out, brother. Appreciate you. Rod said, and the Tates always speak highly of their dad. They do. They always speak highly of their foundational Black American dad. Let's not ever forget that, okay? And I know it's easy to get caught up in the rhetoric that they say, but the brothers never speak ill of their dad. And you got to respect that. Real talk. Shout out to LTD. Bring back the patriarchy. This strong Black woman trope is dumb. Rather cook for my family than lead a debt. Also, weak men are scary to femme women. Can't trust them with your safety and mindset. Thanks, MIL. Shout out. Thank you so much, LTD. Again, said feminism was never our fight, but some women would rather DEI power than to be led. I'm so tired of tyrannical boss women. Leadership. Weak men are scary. Can't trust their leadership and mindset. It's our fault, though. We let it go that far. It is the over accommodating men amongst us. The men who could be whipped with women's attention. And I don't even think women even respect those men. I don't think they even respect those men. You see how quickly they turn on them. But again, we got 12 super chats. Let's try to get 15 if y'all learned something. If not, fine. If you didn't learn anything, you don't owe me anything. But I appreciate you guys so much. LTD, thanks for the gift, man. Thank you for the membership. I appreciate your excellence. Came through with 50. Good looking out, brother. Appreciate you for that 50 super sticker. Also, LTD, why did he have to start by calling Aaron a queen? See, that's what I mean. That was provocation. You just outright challenged this man masculinity. And now he's got to be the bad guy because he's got to defend himself, But that's something that we've tolerated. And why did he start by calling Aaron a queen? That not a woman is a villain trying to play victim. Aaron will clearly hit a man, even if it's a dress. XY chromosome is forever, even if in a dress. Yeah, I like that because even in the video towards the end, when he was around all the women, he didn't want to. He said, "I'm not gonna do this with you." I appreciate that young brother. Even in the heat of the moment, he never attacks those women. That's pretty cool. I like that. Even when they're talking stuff and provoking. Now he hit the dude with the dress. He came with that overhand right. Bam. He put that, bam. Now you got to twist your fist, son. When you got to twist that fist, you got to rotate that fist in. Bow, bow, and that'll help you extend that arm out. Okay. All right. We're gonna have to get him here at Camp Spurling and help him work on his ground game. Okay, we could tweak them punches, but he got the power. You got the power, son. Okay, you got the power. Keep up the good work. We proud of you out here. All right, we proud of you. I know that's all right, baby. Keep on doing what you're doing. You stand on business. Somebody type stand on business in the chat room. Anyway, Black Abdullah said, blessing to you, brother Dennis. Thank you so much, family. I appreciate y'all. Also, TIQS Ice Lords activated. Yeah, from here to enlightenment. How long have you been taking martial arts? Man, well, shoot, man, I have been taking martial arts officially. I don't, depending on what you mean by martial art. I started like boxing back in 2009 just as a hobby and doing my training and whatnot. And then recently I took up jiu-jitsu and Kaju Kembo karate. So jiu-jitsu is Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And my goodness, it is a second job. And that's oftentimes when I'm not here, when I come in late, that's because I'm just then leaving my jiu-jitsu training. I try to go anywhere from 10 to 14 times a week. As you guys know, I was sick a little bit for the past couple of weeks, so I couldn't go as much as I wanted. But yeah, I'm marching towards the purple belt. But I've been taking it for 4 years, 4 years. But I've been boxing since about 2009. And of course, you officially, working on the actual official stuff since 2009. What is it about? So we're going on about 16 years boxing, jiu-jitsu, and Kaiju Kimbo came later about 4 years ago. But my sons, they've been they started when they were 6, so 11 years, 12 years. Yeah, you heard the boy. So they've been at it for a while. It's part of our makeup. It's part of our masculinity training, and the challenge and being able to conquer your fears and those sort of things. So I raised them in this, man. But thank you so much. And shout out to LTD, Toxic Lady Leaders are the worst. Aaron, Matched Energy. Don't get mad because you don't like knuckle sandwiches. Also, Erica, abused Safari. Oh, okay, I don't know all the backstory. Y'all been asking me to comment on it. And I think this is a befitting time to do so in a very constructive way. But we got 12 super chats. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys so much. It's always good to get 20, but we only got 12. But we still got time. Y'all might learn something. If you learn something, that's cool. And then you can, if you do, that's fine. We also got the replay gang. Shout out to the replay gang. I love my replay gang. Hopefully I'll see them soon. And I definitely want to read all the comments. I read all the comments. Now, let me go ahead and give y'all this closing. Look here. We are, as we close this particular discussion, okay, I want to speak directly to the brothers, okay? I want to speak directly to the especially brothers within the foundational Black American community. You've been so quick to label other Black men as sellouts for standing behind Donald Trump's policies. I don't necessarily like Donald Trump. I don't know the man, okay? But I do like his policies. I do like closing the borders. I do like getting people off welfare. I do like shutting down all this affirmative action that has not helped Black people and has only helped white people under the auspices of helping Black people, right? I do like shutting down these wars that are unnecessary. I do like forcing other people to pay for what they owe, whether it's foreign countries or people. I like that. I like it. Okay? Accountability. I like that. Now, as far as Donald Trump, I like the way the man stood up after being hit with everything that the federal government had to hit him with, and he came back roaring strong and he's unapologetic. I like that. I don't care about none of the rest of that stuff. I'm just be honest with what he does in his personal life. I don't care. I'm only concerned about how it helps me and whether or not it's in my interest. Somebody type, vote your interest in the chat room. Okay, vote your interest in the chat room. That's the only thing I teach. I teach people a freedom doctrine on this page. You're free. Nevertheless, I want you to be absolutely clear. Calling other Black men sellouts or me sellouts or whoever, that accusation is not just wrong, it's a betrayal of the very principles that you should define us as free men. The term sellout suggests disloyalty, a willingness to trade integrity for personal gain. But the true sellout is the one who blindly follows a party like the Democrat Party or the Republican Party ideology without questioning whether it serves their best interest or his interest of his people. I am absolutely certain that the Democratic policies do not serve the interests of foundational Black American people. They were trying to replace us with all these foreigners. And you got the nerve to still support them and call the people who are against that sellouts. Think about how silly you sound. See, the true sellout is the man who trades his independence for blind allegiance and who lets political handlers manipulate him into believing he must think a certain way because of the color of his skin. History has seen this before. The chains may have changed, but the tactics remain the same: control. The same forces that once sought to keep us physically enslaved now seek to enslave our minds. They shame us for daring to think for ourselves, for refusing to fall in line with a party that has long promised much but delivered little. They are trying to put your sons in dresses. And you think self-respecting black men like myself are supposed to stand by and let that happen? And you call me a sellout? You call me a nocturnal animal that forages for rubbish at night in the garbage can? No, I think you should look in the mirror. But nevertheless, this is nothing new. Booker T. Washington warned us over a century ago about so-called black leaders who exploit racial grievances for power, keeping their own people dependent rather than empowering them to rise. Brother Malcolm X called the white liberal establishment for treating black voters as political pawns and demanded loyalty while giving us nothing in return. And yet here we are, decades later, still being told who to vote for, still being shamed for stepping off the ideological Democrat plantation. But the Democratic Party, what? Has it changed? It has. It abandoned common sense for chaos. It exchanged stability for anarchy and morality for moral relativism. Open borders just to undercut black labor. Radical gender policies that defy biological reality. A crime wave that leaves our communities broken while elites hide behind their security gates. And they expect us to stay with that? You want us to applaud that? We're supposed to thank them for these failures just because they put some fake half-black, wannabe, not black woman up there named Kamala Harris, whose family is descended from Irish slave handlers and Indians who are as racist as they are in a foreign country. No, that time is over. That time has ended. We are going to think for ourselves, whether you call us sellouts or whatever you want to do. I am not going to watch foundational black Americans our sons be emasculated, our communities be overrun. I'm not going to sit back and watch that and not say something about it. I'm not going to let them keep empowering our women until they walk over a cliff, because that's what they're doing. They got these women gassed up. You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need a man, girl. Here, we're going to give you some more DEI, some more welfare. And then all of a sudden they took it away. All the time they've been running up the bet, $38 trillion. It was going to happen anyway. What the United States government was doing was just writing a blank check. It was not sustainable. Anyway, all the sisters out there listening, our country was going to fold in on itself. We wouldn't be able to even pay for the interest on the debt. And these other countries would just withdraw from us, and we can't fight everybody. So it needed to end. It just took a strong man who didn't give a darn about what people thought to step in. That type of masculinity is not toxic. Strength is not oppression. Thinking for ourselves is not treason. It is freedom. And freedom demands that we reject the destructive narratives being forced upon us. We will not be manipulated. We will not be shamed into silence. We will not be told that to be black is to be Democrat. Brothers, when you see a man standing for himself, for his values, for his family, for his country, don't attack him. Support that black man, whether you believe in what he's saying or not. Respect him, just like you want to be respected. And in fact, if you listen to him long enough, you might want to follow his lead. I'm not saying follow him, just do what he does. Because see, the real test of a man is not how well he conforms, but how courageously he stands in the face of opposition. The boys are back. The boys are back, and at this time, we're not asking for a seat at the table. We're taking the whole damn table back. This is Uncle D. I love y'all, and as I always say,
Dennis Spurling.
In the city where the lights don't sleep, Uncle D got the vibe so deep. Representing men strong and free. Dennis Spurling's the king of the spree. In the streets where the rhythm flows, black men rising, that's how it goes. Uncle D got the truth to show. In his heart, that's where the fire glows. Late night tuning, light up the stream. Dennis Spurling, wisdom gleam. Voices whisper truth and insight. In his podcast, feel the light. Harmony in every word. Truth and laughter you've heard. Wave after wave of smooth delight. Dennis brings the dark to light. Share the tales unfold. Stories born like morning gold. Feeling the wisdom in the subscribing like time after time.
Black men, black men, black men. I want to salute you. Your incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We up. We went from. We are doing great for ourselves. So you should salute yourself. Shout out to all the brothers out there, whether you're a truck driver or engineer, whether you're an electrician or garbage man, a doctor, a lawyer. If you a hard-working brother, if you fresh out the penitentiary, but you on your grind and you doing it legal and you trying to make amends for yourself, man, I salute you too, brothers. God bless you. This is Uncle D, and you know, I'm out.